Have you ever bolted awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, wondering why sleep feels like a distant memory? You're not alone. Millions of Americans over 50 face this silent struggle, night after night, feeling frustrated and exhausted. But what if those restless hours are your body's way of sending a critical message? One you can decode to reclaim restful nights. In this video, we'll uncover the surprising reasons behind your 3 a.m. wake-ups and share simple, practical solutions to help you sleep soundly again. This isn't just about closing your eyes. It's about waking up refreshed, with the energy to enjoy your days, tackle hobbies, or spend quality time with loved ones. We'll dive into why your body's natural clock shifts as you age, how hormones like melatonin and cortisol play a role, and why that late-night phone scroll is sabotaging your rest. You'll discover small changes, like morning sunlight exposure or sleep-friendly snacks, that can transform your nights without expensive treatments. Plus, we'll explore hidden culprits, from medications to nighttime anxiety, and guide you on when to seek a doctor's help. Stick with us until the end to learn a powerful 3-step routine to calm those 3 a.m. worries. Get a chance to win one of 100 free copies of Susan's best-selling book, and unlock tips to reset your sleep cycle for brighter, more vibrant days. Don't let sleepless nights steal your joy. Watch now and take the first step toward the rest you deserve. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Inside each of us lies a natural, internal clock, one that quietly dictates the rhythm of when we sleep and when we wake. As we grow older, however, this internal clock begins to shift forward, almost like you've accidentally moved your watch an hour ahead. Doctors refer to this phenomenon as the advanced sleep phase, but it's simpler than that. Your body simply wants to go to bed and wake up earlier than it used to. This shift is one of the reasons you might find yourself feeling sleepy right after dinner, yet wide awake at 3 a.m. Your body, in its quiet way, believes it's morning already. Shockingly, about 1 in 3 people over the age of 55 experience this. But here's the good news. Understanding this shift is the first crucial step in reclaiming restful sleep. And don't worry, I'll soon share simple yet effective ways to gently reset your natural clock and help you enjoy full nights of sleep again. Now, let me share what truly happens when we sleep. Understanding this not only empowers you but can open your eyes to the crucial windows when your body craves rest and why those moments matter. Deep within your brain, there's a tiny gland about the size of a macadamia nut, the pineal gland. This small but mighty gland is responsible for releasing 4 key hormones, but only during certain hours of the night. In winter, the magic window is between 9 p.m. and 2 a.m., while during other seasons, it shifts to between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. Why these specific times? It has everything to do with the delicate interplay of the moon, tides, light, and dark. Light and dark signals travel through the optic nerve to a control center in the brain, where your body clock is located. This clock then communicates with the pineal gland to release the necessary sleep hormones. One of these vital hormones is melatonin, a term that many of us have likely heard of. Some people even take melatonin supplements when sleep evades them. But here's the thing, we naturally release melatonin during that critical window, and this hormone is known as the fix and rejuvenate nighttime hormone. Melatonin plays a crucial role in the repair and rejuvenation of both our brain and body while we sleep. Without it, the repair process would be much less effective, leaving us feeling drained and unrest. As we age, changes occur in our sleep hormones. Let's talk about melatonin and cortisol, 2 powerful helpers in our body. Melatonin acts as your body's natural sleeping pill, coaxing you to drift off when darkness falls. On the other hand, cortisol acts as your natural alarm clock, waking you up and helping you feel energized in the morning. But as you age, both of these hormones begin to behave differently. By the time you reach 50, you're producing half as much melatonin as you did in your 20s, making it harder to fall and stay asleep. Meanwhile, cortisol can spike at the wrong times, like in the middle of the night, leading to those frustrating moments when you wake up at 3 a.m., feeling unexpectedly alert, yet struggling to fall back asleep. But before you start to worry, know this: there are natural, safe ways to help balance these hormones again. Simple strategies like getting more sunlight in the morning or adjusting when you eat can make a significant difference. We're not doomed to poor sleep, no matter how much older we get. Sleep isn't as deep as it used to be, either. Do you remember how, when you were younger, you'd sleep so soundly that nothing could wake you up? Well, that seems like a distant memory now. These days, even the smallest noise or a stray thought might disrupt your rest. Here's why. Younger people spend about 20% of the night in deep, restorative sleep, that heavy, uninterrupted sleep where no dreams intrude. But after 50, we might only get 5 to 10% of our sleep in this deep, healing phase. Instead, we spend more time in light sleep, making it easier to wake up. Think of it like this: young sleep is like being deep underwater, untouched by the world above. Older sleep is more like floating near the surface, where every little ripple affects you. But here's the good news: this doesn't mean your sleep will always be this shallow. There are proven ways to increase your deep sleep and make your lighter sleep much more restorative, helping you to wake up feeling refreshed and ready to take on the day. Now let's talk about those frustrating 3 a.m. wake-ups. Picture this: it's 3:17 a.m., and the house is perfectly still. You should be sleeping peacefully, but there you are, wide awake again. This isn't a one-off occurrence. Night after night, you find yourself wide awake at this exact time, left feeling frustrated and drained. So, what's happening inside your body during these nighttime awakenings? One culprit that many don't realize is how our breathing changes during sleep. As we age, the muscles in our throats relax more naturally. Sometimes, this relaxation goes too far, partially blocking airflow and causing a brief interruption in our breathing. You might not even remember gasping for air, but you may notice a dry mouth upon waking, a headache that vanishes by afternoon, and inexplicable fatigue throughout the day, even though you spent plenty of time in bed. All of these signs point to a disruption in your breathing cycle, and they might be part of the reason you're waking up so early. But don't despair, because there are gentle, natural methods to help restore your body's rhythm. I'll be sharing these solutions soon, so stick with me. You're not alone in this struggle, and with a little attention and effort, we can reclaim restful, rejuvenating sleep once more. As the night settles, a strange feeling takes over, creeping in during the earliest hours when your sleep is at its lightest. It's that unsettling restlessness you can't quite explain, a strange urge that seems to rise from nowhere. And then, there's the sensation in your legs, not exactly pain, but a deep, overpowering need to move them. It's as if your body is silently demanding action, like a quiet scream you can't hear but can feel. It comes as you try to nestle into sleep, or perhaps it returns with a vengeance when the clock strikes 3 a.m., dragging you from the depths of a peaceful slumber. Science has shown us that this discomfort becomes more prevalent with age, and it's more than just a fleeting moment of unease. It's the result of changes in our body that become more noticeable as the years pass. The signals in our nerves, those pathways that used to be sharp and clear, become more sensitive, more reactive. The rhythms of our body, like the steady pulse of circulation, slow down, and over time, the very fabric of how we process these signals shifts. What feels like an unrelenting surge of energy in the legs is your nervous system struggling to find harmony in the stillness of night. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But it's not just the legs. There's that ache that appears out of nowhere, striking without warning. The joints, your hips, your knees, that don't seem to bother you during the day suddenly demand your attention at 3 a.m. They don't care if you're asleep. They don't care if the world is quiet. They want to be noticed. This is the cruel reminder that as we age, inflammation has its rhythm, one that doesn't follow a 9 to 5 schedule. When you lie still at night, fluids gather in your joints differently, and the body's ability to fight the inflammation weakens. The result? Pain. That painful truth. The kind of pain that comes uninvited, interrupting your precious rest, making it harder to settle back into sleep. It's easy to feel like it's all in your head, like it's just a figment of your imagination. But no. The pain you feel is very real. It's the body's honest reaction to the natural changes that happen over the years. What's even more frustrating is the way certain medications, designed to help us, often make things worse. Medicines we rely on to ease discomfort or improve health sometimes have the opposite effect. They interfere with our sleep, causing restless nights, increasing the urge to wake for bathroom trips, and triggering subtle shifts in our body chemistry. It's almost like the very pills meant to bring relief are robbing us of the one thing we hold dear, a good night's sleep. The irony is infuriating, isn't it? And then there are those moments when your mind refuses to quiet itself. The mind that races in the stillness of the night. When nothing physically seems wrong, but your thoughts refuse to let you rest, it's almost like your brain has a life of its own. The 3 a.m. worry cycle, the one that starts with a jolt of wakefulness, and before you know it, your thoughts have spiraled, weaving through every possible fear, regret, and unresolved worry. This isn't just about stress. It's about a deeper shift in brain chemistry as we age. Sleep maintenance becomes more challenging, especially after 50. The line between wakefulness and sleep blurs, and stress hormones flood your body at the most inconvenient moments. This is not a personal failure. It's a biological change, something every aging brain must navigate. What's so frustrating is that these awakenings aren't flaws. They're simply the body's honest response to the passage of time. While we can't turn back the clock, understanding these changes is the first step in finding better rest. So let's stop blaming ourselves for the sleepless nights and embrace the idea that these shifts are natural. When we approach them with patience and understanding, we can find ways to work with them, rather than fight against them. And let me tell you, getting annoyed at the inability to sleep? That's a surefire way to keep you awake even longer. I've learned that frustration only feeds more negative thoughts, more of those what-ifs that keep us awake, spiraling into worry. But here's a trick that might help. When you catch yourself getting upset, try to shift your mindset. Start listing things you're grateful for. Sounds simple, but it works. When you focus on gratitude, you break that cycle. Your nerves, those electrical impulses firing away in your brain, start to shift. If you stay thankful, those positive thoughts will start to flow. And trust me, once you start thinking about all the good in your life, it'll be a lot easier to drift back to sleep. You see, words matter. What we say to ourselves shapes our reality. One woman told me she never slept. She would say, "I can't sleep." And I told her, "Stop saying that." It might sound harsh, but I wanted her to understand that what we say out loud becomes part of how we feel. If she keeps repeating, "I can't sleep," then of course she won't. Your thoughts are powerful, and when your mind is racing at 3 a.m., it's not a character flaw, it's your body's natural response to a changing rhythm. So instead of getting upset, try to embrace the changes, and let the understanding of this process guide you to better rest. For many, the silent hours between 2 o'clock and 4 a.m. can quickly spiral into a battleground for the mind, plagued by the relentless pull of anxiety and worry. These biological factors create a perfect storm for 3 a.m. anxiety attacks. Linda's story is a poignant example of how this stress spiral often begins with a seemingly harmless thought, a worry that seems small enough during the day, perhaps about an upcoming doctor's appointment or something else that seems manageable. But once the body is already primed for stress, it doesn't take much for that small concern to snowball into something much bigger. The initial worry, like a tiny spark, triggers a surge of cortisol, that stress hormone that puts the body into a heightened state of alertness. And with this new level of awareness, The mind starts to pick up on every other worry, no matter how insignificant, and those worries trigger more cortisol. Before long, Linda would find herself wide awake in the dead of night, imagining every possible disaster. It wasn't just the doctor's appointment anymore. It became about everything from household repairs that needed fixing to existential fears about climate change. Linda confessed, "I'd find myself stressing over problems that didn't even exist in the daylight, as though my mind was a prisoner to all of these irrational fears." This vicious cycle would continue, making sleep feel more elusive than ever. The more stressed she became, the harder it was for her body to produce the calming hormones needed for rest. The Bible offers a powerful reminder: don't let the sun go down on your wrath. In other words, we must face our anxieties before they fester and take hold of us at night. Isn't it true, though? It's when we finally settle into bed that the mind kicks into overdrive, like a chat room that never stops talking. Chatter, 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 until sleep becomes a distant dream. We all know that feeling of lying there, trying to silence the overwhelming thoughts as if forcing ourselves to sleep is the answer. But, ironically, the more we try to make ourselves sleep, the more elusive it becomes. One man had an epiphany: "When I can't sleep, I've learned not to fight it." And he's right. We've all been there, laying in bed thinking, "This is ridiculous. Why can't I sleep? I've got a big day tomorrow." And then we get even more frustrated, pushing ourselves further away from the rest we desperately need. This frustration is a trap. One woman emailed me, desperately saying, "I can't sleep. I'm so tired during the day. How am I ever going to heal if I don't get sleep?" And it's that sense of defeat, of helplessness, that can truly exacerbate the anxiety. But the breakthrough came for Linda when her therapist introduced a life-changing metaphor. 3 a.m. thoughts are like drunk texts. They are distorted, disconnected from reality, and more often than not worth taking seriously. Linda couldn't help but laugh at the comparison, but it clicked. She began to see those early morning worries for what they were: distorted versions of reality, exaggerated by the isolation and fatigue of the nighttime hours. The darkness, the quiet, the exhaustion, they all magnified the concern she felt, making them seem bigger than they truly were. Once Linda understood this, she stopped taking those 3 a.m. thoughts so seriously. She stopped letting them control her. Instead, she developed a simple 3-step routine to guide her through those anxious nights. The first step is a reality check. She asks herself, does this worry need immediate action, or can it wait? This simple question helps her prioritize what's important. Next, she writes down her thoughts in a bedside notebook. "Seeing my worries written down makes them feel smaller and more manageable," Linda says, and it's that act of externalizing her thoughts that brings a sense of calm. Finally, she practices 4-7-8 breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale slowly for 8. This technique calms her nervous system and signals to her body that it's time to relax. While Linda still experiences occasional nighttime wakefulness, her approach has transformed completely. Now, when she wakes up anxious in the middle of the night, she doesn't let the frustration take over. Instead, she trusts her routine. "I just go through my steps and trust that sleep will come back to me. I don't fight it anymore," she says. This shift, from frustration to acceptance, has made all the difference in her overall well-being and sleep quality. Linda's journey shows us something crucial. We are not alone in this struggle. The science behind nighttime anxiety is clear. It's not a personal failing but a common, biologically driven experience. By understanding the mechanisms behind these wakeful episodes and having simple, effective coping strategies, we can transform our relationship with those quiet nighttime hours. The goal isn't to have perfect sleep every night, but rather to build a toolkit that allows us to navigate these moments with patience, compassion, and resilience, ultimately leading us back to restful nights. It's about progress, not perfection. Reset your internal clock with the transformative power of morning light. Have you ever woken up feeling groggy, unrest, and frustrated, as though your body is fighting against you, refusing to wake up properly? That overwhelming sense of sluggishness often comes from a disrupted circadian rhythm. The good news is that there's a simple, yet incredibly effective solution right at your fingertips. 15 minutes of morning sunlight exposure while you enjoy your first cup of coffee or tea. This natural light therapy is one of the most powerful ways to reset your body's internal clock, restoring balance to your sleep-wake cycle and nurturing your well-being. I can't emphasize enough how profoundly this practice can impact your life. It's not just about the light, it's about connecting with the world around you in a way that signals to your body, it's time to wake up, it's time to thrive. By exposing yourself to natural morning sunlight, even if it's a cloudy day or if you're sitting near a sunny window, you'll notice that nighttime awakenings and poor sleep start to diminish. The most magical part? You can experience these positive changes in just a few days, all by aligning your body's internal clock with nature's rhythm. This is especially important for seniors. As we age, our eye lenses are naturally yellow, causing a reduction in our ability to absorb light. But don't let that discourage you. The earlier you can soak up some sunlight after waking up, the stronger the message your body gets to reset its biological clock. Trust me, consistency matters far more than duration. Even 5 minutes of sunlight daily can work wonders in reinforcing your natural rhythm. Creating a soothing evening routine is just as crucial as that morning sunlight. The activities you engage in before bed might be secretly sabotaging your sleep. I've learned over time that replacing stimulating evening shows or news programs with calming alternatives like soft music, an audiobook, or light reading can truly transform your night. Even gentle seated stretches can help release the tension from the day and signal your body that it's time to wind down. And let's not forget to dim the lights an hour before bedtime. This simple step lowers cortisol levels, triggers your body's natural relaxation response, and paves the way for a peaceful night of sleep. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to evening stimulation. Our natural sleep chemicals decrease, and our bodies struggle to relax. That's why having a predictable wind-down routine is so important. The blue light from screens is a major disruptor. It's like your brain doesn't know how to turn it off. So, try swapping out your harsh screen time with amber reading lights. Your evening ritual should gently whisper, "It's time to rest," not shout, "Stay alert." I also want to remind you just how essential fresh air is while you sleep. It's vital. Having oxygen circulating while you sleep makes a world of difference. And of course, never underestimate the power of exercise. Yes, exercise should have been number one. It's that important. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Now, let's talk about optimizing your sleep environment. Your bedroom is not just a place to sleep, it's your sanctuary, especially as you age. Take a moment to assess and modify key elements that may be disrupting your rest. Invest in effective blackout curtains to block out all unwanted light pollution. Maintain a room temperature between 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit to create an ideal sleep atmosphere. And for goodness sake, remove or cover up any electronic light sources. These simple adjustments can make a world of difference in creating a sleep environment that encourages your brain to associate your bedroom with peaceful, restorative sleep. For many older adults, a heavier blanket can provide a sense of comfort and security, especially when paired with a cool room temperature. Don't hesitate to use a white noise machine to mask any disruptive sounds. As we age, we become more sensitive to noise. And if your mattress or pillow no longer offers the support you need, don't wait to replace them. Prioritize your spinal alignment, and make sure your bed is working for you, not against you. And one last tip: avoid large meals right before bed. They can leave you feeling too full to rest properly and disrupt your digestion. We should be eating breakfast like a king, and truly, I think we did just that this morning, didn't we? A hearty, nourishing breakfast to kickstart our day with energy, vitality, and strength. Then, lunch. Think of it as a queen's feast. You know, the queen often eats just as royally as the king. And yet, when it comes to dinner, it's time to eat like a pauper. You might wonder, what do paupers eat? Sometimes, not much at all. The truth is, when we prepare for rest, our bodies crave sleep, but if our stomachs are still processing a heavy meal, rest will be elusive. A full stomach disrupts our ability to sleep deeply. Our stomach can't rest when it's working overtime to digest that big meal. It can even begin to ferment and rot, creating toxic fumes that could poison us. That's right, food poisoning. When food rots in our stomach during the night, releasing fumes that disrupt our sleep and our health. Think about the effect of large meals at night. The body simply isn't built to handle heavy digestion when it's supposed to be winding down. Instead, we should focus on sleep-friendly evening snacks. Our nighttime eating habits directly influence our ability to sleep soundly. So let's replace those sugary snacks that cause blood sugar crashes with better, more balanced options, like oatmeal with walnuts, or a banana with almond butter. Whole grain crackers with cheese are another great choice. These foods provide steady, slow-releasing energy throughout the night, ensuring that we don't wake up feeling hungry. And even better, they contain sleep-promoting nutrients like tryptophan and magnesium, which help our muscles relax and encourage deeper sleep. As we age, digestion slows down, which makes it even more important to keep our evening meals light. Some natural options like tart cherry juice contain melatonin, which is our body's natural sleep hormone, and pumpkin seeds are packed with magnesium to help muscles relax after a long day. But here's a tip. Avoid drinking fluids too close to bedtime. It's one of the best ways to minimize those late-night bathroom trips, which can disrupt our rest. However, make sure to stay hydrated during the day to ensure you're feeling your best. Now, let's talk about when it might be time to seek professional help. If you've made lifestyle changes and adjusted your eating habits, and you still find yourself waking up exhausted, it's time to listen to your body and talk to a doctor. Pay attention to the signs. Loud snoring with choking sensations, restless legs that keep you tossing and turning, or waking up every morning feeling drained, with a mood and concentration that aren't quite right. These could be more than just the effects of aging. They might be symptoms of sleep apnea or other treatable conditions. Don't ignore these warning signs. Modern sleep tests are easier than you might think. Many doctors now offer at-home tests that let you monitor your sleep in the comfort of your bed. If needed, there are even non-invasive overnight studies that can provide clear answers. Sometimes, simple blood tests can reveal underlying issues like vitamin deficiencies or thyroid problems that are commonly associated with sleep troubles after the age of 50. Don't let these disruptions go unchecked. As we conclude, remember this: good sleep is not a luxury. It's the quiet foundation that allows us to fully embrace life. More energy, better health, and brighter days ahead. As we wrap up today's discussion, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've learned. From the importance of eating like a king in the morning and treating our evening meals like a pauper's light fare to the critical connection between food choices and quality sleep, there's so much that can help us improve our daily lives and well-being. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you've learned today that you're excited to bring into your daily routine? Whether it's choosing sleep-friendly snacks or seeking help for sleep troubles, share it with us in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll stay updated with more helpful tips and insights for living a healthier, happier life. We appreciate you being here, and we look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Take care, and remember, good sleep is the foundation for a brighter tomorrow.